News every 15 minutes, weather every 10, and sports twice an hour.
Newstalk, KGVO, AM 1290, and now 101.5 FM.
You're listening to Montana Morning with Peter Christian.
Economist testimony, no laughing matter. Good morning, everyone. It's Montana Morning. It's Tuesday, March 31st, 2015. Right now, the sky is partly cloudy. We have 36 degrees in Missoula. And our newscast is sponsored by Dr. Troy Doxey, the friendly team at Chiropractic Works, where they're dedicated to chiropractic solutions. For your appointment, call 728-0222. This morning's top story, one of the world's foremost economists was in Missoula yesterday, testifying in the Mountain Water trial. Economist Arthur Laffer, whose name became a household reference during the 80s with the Laffer curve, offered up this opinion on the Mountain Water case.
Were you asked to consider whether public utility ownership of water utilities, in this case specific to Mountain Water, is more necessary or more advantageous than city ownership?
Yes, I was asked that.
And what is your conclusion?
You know, honestly, there's no compelling economic argument for public ownership of the water facility here. It's just not more necessary than private ownership.
Laffer went on to explain why he thinks Mountain Water should not be put in city control through condemnation.
Because the company, Mountain Water, has done an excellent job, in my opinion. It's served the community for a long, long time without major glitches. And, you know, when something works, it's not time to change it. My view is the old Latin phrase, primum non nocere.
And what does that mean?
First of all, do no harm.
Okay.
Common slang word would be, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Later during cross-examination, Laffer admitted to being paid $1,500 per hour to testify. He also said he would be a supporter of condemnation if Missoula were dealing with circumstances similar to the Butte Anaconda water system back in the 1980s. Missoula police investigating an incident where shots were fired inside the city limits early Saturday morning. Here's Public Information Officer Travis Welsh.
Missoula officers responded to the report of shots having been fired in the area of the 1500 block of Fairview, just off of Russell there. When they arrived, they found that apparently people involved were gone. They were able to recover some evidence. They spoke to several witnesses.
Welsh said witnesses were able to provide some information at the scene.
They gathered information as to what had occurred, including people saying that they heard several shots and some saying they saw muzzle flashes, and then several vehicles leaving the area rapidly.
Officers recovered some spent shell casings, but whether they're from a handgun or a rifle has not yet been made public. Anyone with information asked to call Crime Stoppers 721-4444. Ravalli County officials have released the name of a 74-year-old Connor man who died after falling into the Bitterroot River last week while fishing. Deputy Coroner Travis McKeldry told the Missoulian Sunday that Jeffrey Benjamin died in a boating accident on March 25th. One woman died and 3 others were injured in a 5-vehicle pileup in the westbound lanes of I-90 near Laurel, which is near Billings, during a weekend dust storm. The Highway Patrol says a 67-year-old woman from Park City was killed in the crash shortly after 3 p.m. Saturday. The 72-year-old Park City man who was driving the crossover vehicle was injured, while a 23-year-old man driving a car also suffered minor injuries. The victim's name has not yet been released. Well, the due date for filing for tax refunds for the year 2011 is fast approaching. According to the IRS, over $3 million that should go to Montanans will be headed to the U.S. Treasury if tax returns aren't filed before April 15th of this year. Missoula area CPA Walt Kiro said the reason for this is a 3-year statute of limitations.
A tax return that's due on April 15th for 2011 is due on April 15th of 2012. 3 years from then is April 15th of 2015, which is just 2 weeks down the road from here. So those folks, if they have refunds coming, will lose out. Depending on facts and circumstances, that can be a couple of $1,000.
Kiro says that Montanans have been missing out on their tax refunds for quite some time.
This has been an ongoing thing. This phenomenon has been going on for 20 or 30 years, and I don't get it because it's people's money and they have it coming to them. But for whatever reason, they don't file.
An estimated 3,700 Montanans were set to miss out on tax refunds as of March 2015. A 20-year-old hardened woman has died in a single-vehicle rollover west of Busby. The Highway Patrol said the woman was eastbound on U.S. Highway 212 about 1 o'clock Monday morning when her car went off the left side of the road for unknown reasons. The car rolled. Trooper Joseph Coughlin said the woman was wearing her seatbelt and the airbags deployed, but she was still partially ejected from the vehicle. Her name has not yet been released. Multi-talented Shireen Herrera is more than just a voice on the radio. She's also a very pretty face. In fact, she's now a cover girl for Montana Woman magazine. Herrera, half of the Billy and Shireen morning show on 94.9 KISS FM, said she was just notified of the magazine cover this past weekend.
They asked me to do a fishing spread for the April issue, which is a great time to fish. Rock Creek and Clark Fork and Blackfoot are just awesome in April. But they also chose April because it was the month my grandma passed last year.
Herrera said she worked through the grief of losing her grandmother by immersing herself in the sport of fly fishing.
When she passed, I decided that I'm going to pick up my rod and I'm going to go out there every single day. And I pretty much did for a long time after she passed, and I got really good at fly fishing. So I used fishing as kind of grief counseling.
Herrera said she's always been a big fan of the magazine, having known the publisher for many years, and she's recommended several other women to be featured in past issues. In April of 2015, though, Shireen, it's your turn. The Montana House has overwhelmingly passed a bill providing funding for an Eastern Montana crime lab. House members voted to pass the amended bill 97-7 on Monday. The bill will go next to the Senate for its consideration. A cold front's coming through western Montana starting today, bringing winds from 30 to 35 miles per hour, gusts of over 40 in the Bitterroot. Meteorologist with the National Weather Service, Travis Booth, has more.
We have a fairly strong cold front that will pass through the area on Tuesday, bring with it some showers and breezy conditions, and then behind it, we just have a general kind of cool and unsettled pattern from Wednesday all the way into the coming weekend.
Booth said some snow can be expected to accompany this system.
Wednesday and Thursday, there certainly could be some snow showers all the way down to the lower valleys. And the mountain passes, they may see a few inches that could slow down travel from time to time.
Booth said the high temperatures will dip into the 40s by the middle of the week, with lows into the upper 20s. The National Weather Service warning that the system will bring strong winds, gusting up to 50 miles per hour in the Salmon, Idaho area. Our News Talk time now is, speaking of weather, 6:10.
News Talk, KGVO.
Missoula's official weather station.
Mostly cloudy to cloudy today with scattered showers and an isolated thunderstorm. Highs will be in the upper 50s, right around 60. Winds will be breezy with wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour. I'm meteorologist Brooke Foster for KECI 13.